Well, hey there, it's Mark Barrett in Miami, Florida. Thanks for stopping by to check out my video. I just got back from a conference in Orlando called Live the Dream 2. That was this 2-day intensive training on internet and online marketing, and I just wanted to shoot this short video to give you some of the highlights of it now. They held the event at Disney World up in Mickey Mouse Land. But you know what? It was a little disappointing since they actually worked us from about 8:30 in the morning till about 8 o'clock at night. And by the time I got out every night, Mickey Mouse was nowhere to be found. Darn. But there were sure a lot of his, those little hats with the ears and stuff. Got one of those. And they had the t-shirts, Mickey t-shirts, and they had Mickey everything. So it was kind of fun being there, even if I didn't get to go through the Disney mania. But I tell you, I learned some pretty amazing things, actually, that will make, well, a dramatic difference in my business. Now, you probably heard me talk about the importance of using online marketing. And if you're in the MLM or home business industry, you probably know already that success in network marketing is really purely a numbers game, right? The more leads you have, the more prospects you have, the more distributors you can sponsor, and of course that translates into larger and larger numbers in your monthly check, which is what we're really interested in, is getting that big residual checkup, right? And what better place to find those numbers today than really on the internet? I mean, by some estimates, there are over 1.8 billion people online. 1.8 billion. Good grief. That's a lot of people. And they're all out there searching for something. So what do you think the odds are that you could find a couple of people interested in your business out of 1.8 billion? Let's see. Probably pretty good. Actually, you could probably find more like a few hundred a month that would sign up with you if you learn the formula of how to tap into that traffic. Now, I will point out that many times people tend to get a little confused when they jump into the world of online marketing and lead generation, but that's because they try to do everything at once, right? They try to learn everything at once, devour all the information at one time, and of course, you know what happens when you eat too much at one sitting, right? Indigestion. So this, for a lot of people, they get internet learning or online marketing indigestion, but you need to approach online marketing more like an ant eating an elephant. Yeah, it's a visual, huh? You need to do it one small bite at a time. Here's a better way to look at it. Actually, internet marketing is a lot like, it has many different levels of understanding, right? There's a point of sufficiency, and then there's a point of mastery. Now, to get to a point of sufficiency, it's not really too difficult, right? As long as you have a step-by-step training program to learn from. Sufficiency in internet marketing will get you up to about 10 leads a day, which will get you 300 leads a month, which should translate over time into about 10 new reps into your business each month. Not bad, huh? Now, after sufficiency, then comes mastery. This is where you really dig into different marketing approaches like SEO, which is search engine optimization, or blog marketing strategies, and perfecting your click-through ratio and your conversion ratios, or even PPC, pay-per-click advertising, right? But you can take any of these strategies to a whole new level by really digging in and really learning them and gaining mastery of those subjects. Now, to truly gain mastery can take you several months. And it's kind of like going to college. You have to be ready for it. Now, there's a good analogy here. Actually, it's very much like going to school. Learning internet marketing is very much like going to school, right? You have to go through grade school first, then you go to junior high, and then you go to high school, then you go to college, and then you go to grad school, right? If you tried to go to school but decided to shortcut the process and say, hey, forget this grade school stuff, I'm going right into graduate school, you're likely to be a little confused. Now, this mastery process really doesn't take a long time. And of course, you can make a ton of money along the way, but it's important to learn it the right way. So anyway, I want to give you some of the highlights of this event I went to.
Don't be a drive, just be a queen. Whether you're broke or evergreen, you're not quite fish, you're like a sand. You're like a piece, you're
Well, one of the speakers at the event really impressed me. It was a guy by the name of Tim Irway. Now, Tim Irway, if you don't recognize the name, is one of the founders and owners of a company called Magnetic Sponsoring, which is an online company that pretty much I would say they didn't create the concept of attraction marketing, but they sure perfected it. They made it pretty much a household word on the internet among people who do online marketing. And their business today, Tim Airway, Mike Dillard, you might recognize his name, is a 8, 9, 10-figure business. I mean, multi-million dollar business from teaching people online how to market effectively and how to build successful online businesses. And Tim went over a lot of different, very interesting strategies. Tim, I mean, great guy, just a great guy. And he went over kind of a step-by-step approach, the global view of actually how they put their business together and they did it all through online marketing. And he talked about testing and optimization and conversion ratios, which if you're just getting into the world of online marketing probably doesn't mean a lot to you. But since I'm kind of midway through my graduate degree, it actually meant a lot to me, because to take a look at the simplicity of going through, the scientific model kind of going through online marketing, and here's exactly what you do to increase your conversion ratios, and here's what you have to take a look at, and here are the steps you have to go through to really build a very successful online lead generation business, which is what they did, was pretty darn amazing. Here's some of the highlights. Now, one of the things you are going to see here is I'm going to show you some snapshots that were actually taken with my smartphone. One of the great things about technology, kind of love that technology, right, is that we used to have to sit in these conferences and webinars, and we'd have to scribble furiously and start writing, and all of a sudden it's like, no, put that PowerPoint back. I'm not done yet. Today, what you can do is you can just pop up your little smartphone. They all got cameras in them. You can point it up there, expand it up, boom, take a shot of it, and instant note-taking. I love technology. Anyway, here's some of the highlights. Pretty interesting stuff, huh? Absolutely, absolutely amazing. Now, one of my favorites of the conference was a guy by the name of Brian Finale came up. Now, Brian's one of the owners of My Lead System Pro, and Brian is a very, very sharp copywriter. Copywriting really is just writing. It's how you develop ad scripts. It's how you put advertising in front of your consumers or customers. And people from all industries need copywriting, even if you don't do it on the internet, even if you're designing a brochure, even if you're putting a billboard up. Whether or not people relate to it and how they relate to it embodies a little bit of psychology. And learning how to write effectively so that you can convert consumers or make sales is the art of copywriting. And I tell you what, Brian blew me away, true master at it. And he went through a number of slides talking about kind of the psychological measures behind what you do when you're designing ad copy, and great stuff, And when you take a look at what they have done within My Lead System Pro, which is actually kind of a templated online marketing system for people in the MLM industry, you can see why it has been so successful. And so many people have used this training and marketing portal to generate huge volume and recruit a ton of people into their business. And a lot of it's due to Brian's really sharp talents in copywriting. Here's some of the highlights. And then a real highlight for me at this event was a couple of guys that have this company called the SEO Networker. And these two guys are probably some of the best trainers today on SEO strategies in relation to online lead generation in the industry. And SEO, search engine optimization, is one of those things that sounds really tricky and complicated. And at the level that they teach their craft, it's more of a college level course, I would say. So not necessarily something I would recommend for somebody just diving in and wanting to learn it. It's a lot easier to drive a ton of traffic using real simple SEO approaches in which you really don't have to know anything about SEO, such as article marketing, which, I coach people. I kind of take the same principles that they teach in SEO and actually make them into a real simple strategy in which you can use articles to create backlinks to get yourself on the front page of Google, which is where we want to be, right? But the stuff they were teaching is pretty impressive. But it got a little confusing when they started talking about this thing called Panda. So that's the panda. And then they started flipping up some slides that said, hey, don't piss off the panda. And I can remember turning to the guy next to me and saying, yeah, don't piss off the panda, man. And he goes, yeah, I know. It's okay. Neither one of us had a clue what they were talking about. But then they explained why you don't want to piss off the panda. And then, after they explained why you don't want to piss off the panda, they explained, of course, how you make Panda happy. And then, of course, the whole thing kind of fell into place because Panda is simply it's an algorithm, and every algorithm should have a name, right? Anyway, an algorithm is a mathematical formula used by Google so that when you type little searches into the search bar, such as best tires for my Porsche, right? It's going to come up with search results that are relevant to what you're looking for. And those are all put into place magically behind that little screen of yours by using a mathematical formula called an algorithm. And so they developed a new algorithm recently called Panda. And you don't want to piss off Panda because that means if you don't put together your SEO or your article marketing or your online marketing properly, then you're not going to come up on the first page of Google. And of course, the Panda will be pissed off, and that's the algorithm, and you're not going to get up there. And they explained how to make Panda happy. And actually, now that I really knew Panda, I was very interested in making Panda happy. And they explained in detail exactly what you needed to do. Well, once again, this is the higher level type of online marketing, incredible stuff. What you really need to learn when you're going into the world of online marketing is not this level, but once again, the point of sufficiency to where you can generate 10 or 15 or 20 leads a day, you can do with really simple SEO strategies, such as article marketing. But anyway, it was pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, the SEO networker guys made a lot of people happy when they brought out a couple real simple, dumbed down approaches to online marketing. And one of them was kind of an explanation of a new emerging trend that actually is being able to push a lot of pretty aggressive traffic called pay-per-view. Now, it's seen a little bit around previously about pay-per-view. I mean, you run into these different marketing concepts online when you're in the business. But it's different than pay-per-click, where people you pay when your prospect actually clicks on it. With pay-per-view, it's much, much cheaper, but you pay whenever your ad comes up in front of them. And there are some pay-per-view networks and some approaches, as they were explaining, that were pretty incredible, pretty cheap, and actually had the ability to drive a lot of traffic. Interesting stuff. Take a look. Once again, amazing stuff. I love learning this stuff. Fascinating. And then, once we took a look through the SEO networkers at the different types of traffic that you can drive in the marketplace, one of the things that was really interesting that they laid out on a graph and made really, really clear is that not all traffic is equal. Okay, so driving leads on the internet really is not that complicated to do, but there's different quality of traffic, right? Some of it is junkier traffic, but you get a lot more of it, right? Those are the people that are out there spamming all of us on a daily basis with emails. That gets you traffic, but it's not necessarily a high quality traffic, right? And I guess I learned this lesson years ago when I used to do 25 years ago newspaper advertising. And I knew a lot of people in the industry at the time were going out and trying to keep their budget as cheap as possible. And they would throw ads into things like the Thrifty Nickel and the Penny Saver and just real cheap and expensive. And I went for the highest quality publications I could get my ads into: San Diego Tribune, the LA Times, the New York Times, and in some cases the Wall Street Journal. Because the difference was, if you think about it, if you're newspaper advertising, and this is what I thought about years ago, is that, if I am looking for an opportunity, or I'm looking for a job, or I'm frustrated and I'm looking for a change in my life, I want to make a lot of money, where do I go? The Thrifty Nickel, right? Yeah, that's the place where you want to go. The best opportunities in the world are in the Penny Saver. Not really. You go to the Wall Street Journal, you go to the major metro newspaper that you're in. And so when they talked about different types of traffic and, the cheap stuff may look really cheap and may look really attractive, but you have to have somebody to guide you through the process who knows where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. somewhere along that sliding scale. But take a look at this. I think you'll find it really interesting. Now, another subject I got the opportunity to delve into in more detail, kind of a fascinating growth story. You've probably heard of it. It's this little company called Facebook. Everybody knows Facebook is big. I think they're approaching, if they're not past it already, 800 million user accounts, kind of threatening Google supremacy in the whole online marketing world. It's kind of a game-changing business model, to say the least. If you haven't seen the movie The Social Network, you got to go take a look at that, and you can see how power really is today in the hands of the individual with a laptop. We have so much technology at our disposal, we can create an empire from our home business if we know what we're doing and if we know the steps to follow to go through to get there, right? And so, yeah, so one of the incredible things I got to see here is to learn a little bit more. I've done a lot of pay-per-click advertising, and I'm a true believer in, hey, putting together a small advertising budget, throwing a little bit of money at it, learning how to do pay-per-click effectively because you get instantaneous results, which is what I like about it. I'm kind of I want it now kind of guy. But I had never really done a lot with Facebook PPC, and this is a new it's a new area they're developing and bringing out more information on. And some people are just knocking the ball out of the park with Facebook PPC, but it works for a different set of principles. So we had the opportunity to listen to a lady at the event, Michelle, who's the Lead System Pro top leader, who has really perfected and refined down Facebook PPC. I can tell you, I was pretty impressed. Definitely invested in her training program to take it through a step-by-step process of what I needed to do to really understand Facebook PPC. Great, incredible stuff. Take a look. Pretty amazing stuff, huh? Anyway, the internet marketing world is just full of all kinds of people. That's one of the really unique and refreshing parts about it. And when you go to a conference like this, I mean, all MLM company conferences, if you've been to them before, which you probably have, they have a certain unique kind of culture within the distributor base, right? Some are very polished, and, you go to the events and everybody's wearing suits and ties, and you go to others and they're all kind of relaxed and dressed down, and you go to others like for skincare companies and everybody's beautiful, right? Because that's their product. And internet marketing just kind of has this mix that's just totally amazing. And so there are people, and I'm going to show you a picture of a friend of mine in a moment that I had the good fortune to run into again at the conference, Jordan Schultz. And guy is sharp, but it's a testament to the fact that, hey, even people with beards that wear baseball hats at conferences and go to conferences in shorts can make a ton of money because the guy is a sharp marketer. So it was a great weekend. Met a lot of very, very interesting people, a lot of sharp marketers, a lot of people that are legends in the industry, a lot of people who are just there studying and learning and are ready to take their MLM or home-based business to the next level. And that's really what it's all about. And I had a little bit of a surprise. It was very nice. I received an award at the event for being an L4, a level 4 master marketer. Ooh, level 4. And the surprising thing is that I've been involved in the MLM industry for over 25 years. I was a seven-figure earner in that industry for many years, and I did it all old school. I did the old approaches, the face-to-face, the belly-to-belly. I always believed in high-volume lead generation, but I used old techniques. I really didn't even embrace or start looking into the world of online marketing until I needed to find a solution about 2 years ago. And but if you sit down and commit yourself to it and study, I tell you what, there's nothing that stops you from entering the top ranks of the internet marketers out there in the world today. I mean, hey, if an old school guy like me can do it, you can do it too. Take a look. Amazing. Anyway, I want to wrap up and just leave you with one tidbit of information that even if you're not involved in online marketing or have no intention of going in that direction, there is a tool that I was exposed to at this conference that is something you should be using. I mean, even if you're out doing face-to-face, belly-to-belly prospecting in the world of home-based lead generation or MLM lead generation, this is something you definitely want to use, because one of the things that I found very important, even going back over 25 years, was the ability to track your numbers. Most people in network marketing don't keep track of their numbers. And as a result, at the end of a day's period of time or week's period of time, you may felt like I just haven't made any progress. I don't understand what's wrong. And as a leader, when I had an organization with my first company of, 50, 60,000 people downline from me, I would have people always call me up in frustration, and I'd say, well, what have you been doing? Well, I'm talking to a lot of people. And I'd say, how many? Well, I didn't really I don't know, a lot. And so you'd send them back and have them start tracking their results on a simple Excel spreadsheet over a period of time and say, okay, I want you to write down how many people you actually generated or initiated a call with, how many people you connected with, how many people that you got to go look at a presentation, how many presentations did you do, how many follow-ups did you do? I mean, tracking simple numbers. And all of a sudden, some of those people that just couldn't understand why they weren't getting anywhere, all of a sudden, the light went on upstairs when they looked at their stats at the end of the week and went, good grief, I only talked to 8 people and I only gave 2 presentations. And then when they went back to me, I'd say, well, you see what's going wrong here. You need to sit down on a daily basis, set up your business model, and be generating activity, closing, giving presentations, doing the money-making activities on a daily basis. Now, once they started tracking, it made a huge difference. And there is actually an online tool that this really sharp guy put together, Cesar, that you're going to want to take a look at. It's called activitytracker.com. It's free. It's a free tool. And basically, you can set up a user account with this tool. And then when you're making calls and stuff, you simply bring up the interface. And every time you make a call, you can click on one of the buttons. You can custom configure for your particular type of a business. They give you recommendations on what you should be tracking. And you track it all online, and it'll generate a report for you. And if you're a leader, you can actually put people in your organization on this too, and you being the administrator on the overall master account, you can see what people in your organization are doing and the results that they're generating on a daily basis. Incredible tool. I recommend you take a look at it. It's one of those free tools that probably won't be free forever, but take advantage of it while it's out there. And once again, if you want to look into the world of online marketing, as I said, it's not rocket science. It is something that you have to take a step-by-step approach to, but I'm a firm believer that, I'll tell you what, with 1.8 billion people online is really where you want to be. In my book, it is the future of all marketing on the planet, being online. So, it's not a matter of, do you really want to learn these strategies to be successful in business? It's when are you going to learn them? And you know what? With systems like, the My Lead System Pro online marketing and educational portal system, which are the people that put on the Live the Dream event too, and resources and a community like they have in there where people can come to events like this or do training webinars on a weekly basis and put them in the back office, and you can see a step-by-step approach on how to, literally generate a ton of money online. And regardless of whatever company you're marketing with or enrolling people into or whatever MLM you're involved in or no matter what you're marketing, the same strategies apply. It's a generic community. I highly encourage you, if you haven't taken a look at it already, check it out. Put yourself into the world of online marketing and step up to the plate and take your business to the next level. It's Mark Baird in Miami, Florida. Hopefully this has been as fun for you as it was for me. Anyway, take care.